Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Best and Slot here. We are back with the Creation Kit tutorial series. I do apologise this is taking so long, as somebody quoted, they are dying of starvation or something. Anyways, I apologise. We are going to finish our quest stuff today. What we're going to do is we're going to add objective markers and aliases and all this kind of stuff that basically makes our quest a fully formed, fully functioning quest like you'd see in the game. So you'll get to stage 1 of the quest and your journal will update and tell you what stage you're at and what you have to do. You know, like a proper quest would. It's all very exciting. That's what we're going to do. It shouldn't be too hard, this one, guys. Hopefully. There's only really 3 kind of stages to it and we're going to get through it. And everything's going to be beautiful. You shall see. So, first things first, obviously, as usual, file data, load your Skyrim file and your mod that we were working on last time, the quest that we've built over the last 2 tutorials. If you haven't been watching the last 2 tutorials, please do go check them out so you're up to date. We don't really want you falling behind, that'd be mean. And you also want to get up the dungeon where you put your thief character. This isn't strictly necessary, but I'll show you why in a bit. Once we've done that, we can get started. So we're going to go to quest and we're going to find our quest. And it's called New Quest because I'm original like that. We're going to double click, we're going to open it, and the first thing we're going to do is set things called aliases. Let's click that up there, and what these are is basically what we want to do is right click in this box and click a new reference alias. This will take a while to load, so I'm just going to blather on. An alias is basically a reference for the objectives. It's you can't directly direct an objective towards certain. You'll understand as I go through, but an alias is basically a reference. That's all it is. You know, a lot of this quest building is about using references, and that's basically what an alias is. It's building specific. It's like linking objective things together. It's all very weird. Just think of it as a reference. Each alias refers to a different object or item or stage or actor and that kind of thing. So what we need to do is set 3 aliases for the 3 main things that are involved in our quest. So then when we do our objectives, we can refer to those aliases, and then depending on certain things happening, the quest can move forward. I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to make our first one for Dolphin because he's our go-to guy. So we're going to ignore most of this. You don't really need to worry about the majority of this. This is stuff that we may deal with in future tutorials, but for now just ignore it. What we need to do is type in our alias, and this is just give it a name, just give it the name of what we're going to reference, and in this case we want to reference the actor Dolphin Puppet. So just type his name, and you want to tick this box here, unique actor. And click this, and we're going to search for new quest actor, which is the ID we gave to Dolphin, and that's it for that. That has created that reference. So now when we mention the alias Dolphin in our objective building, it knows that we mean Dolphin Puppet, the new quest actor ID. Now, if your screen's like mine, you can't actually see the OK button, but if you just hit enter, that will actually still work fine, and you'll end up with something like this. Now we're going to create another one, so new reference alias again. And we're going to do this for the thief, and then we're going to do this for the ring as well. And each sort of one requires a slightly different way of referencing. That's why I'm going through them each individually. And until that point, how cool is this highlight mouse program? Seriously, look at that little blue ring. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's a blue ring around a blue ring. Sorry, this takes a while. I don't really have anything to say at this point. Hopefully your quest will go okay. Again, I do apologise this is taking so long, but it's here. It's on its way, guys. It's on its way. Actually, well, it's already here. And there we go, I can stop talking. So we need to build one for the thief. So again, we're going to type the alias as thief, and this time we can't use unique actor, because if you remember, we built our thief from a template. Now, if you've made your thief enemy type character as a unique actor, given him his own template, built him up from scratch, and ticked the unique actor box on the NPC, you'll be fine here. You can tick unique actor, do what we did last time, and go through the list. But because we didn't, we have to find him as a reference. So we're going to click a specific reference, click select forced reference, and now we have 2 options. We can either find the cell, which would be Nax's tomb, which is where we kept him, and then find the reference, or we can select reference in render window. I'm going to click that one, and as you can see, it pops up in your render window, and I really should have thought this through a bit more, but we're going to zoom out. There he is. There we go, new quest thief, and as you can see, it's also done that information for us. Either works. I mean, if you've got your dungeon open in the reference window, you can do it that way, or you can just scroll through like normal. Click OK, and that's that one done. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, something's happening. There we go. And one more, we're going to do the ring. And again, like the the two actors, this is going to be slightly different because it's not an actor, and we don't have a specific reference because it's not out in the world, it's not in a cell, it's in the thief's inventory, and that is kind of how we're going to find it. Yeah. Awkward silence. I don't really know what to say. It's all going well. Quest should be good. Yeah. We're just going to get the objectives done. You'll be able to write your own custom objective text for this as well, which is pretty cool. Now, for this, we need to create reference to object. So obviously, because we want to reference the ring, I should make sure I type ring up in the alias. Create reference to object. Click on this and new object, new quest, ring object, I should say. So click create reference to object, search for your object, and we actually need to do something else here. We need to click create in, so this is where the reference is going to spawn when we get to that point in the quest, and then thief, as you can see, those are the two aliases we made earlier. So make sure when you do this you build your thief at least first. And what this does is basically when we initiate the ring alias at a certain stage of the quest, it will add the ring to the thief's inventory. Before that point, the ring won't be there, so that's quite helpful. If you've got a general NPC that you want to have an item but only at a certain stage of the quest, so if people come in and kill the thief earlier in the game, earlier in the quest or before they get the quest, then the ring won't actually be there. Now the problem with that is, because it's creating a new item at that specific stage of the quest, when we set the objectives in a minute, there will be two versions of the ring. So to do this properly, we'd have to go back into the thief's inventory and delete the ring that we added in the last tutorial. I'm not going to bother showing you that, that's easy enough to do, guys, you know what to do there. But that's the aliases done, so we're going to go over to quest objectives. Now this is setting basically just setting up the objectives and sort of, well, we'll see. What we're going to do is right click in this box here, click new, and what we're doing is we're setting the objectives for each stage of the quest, and then setting the target reference for that objective. So we're saying which stage of the quest, which objective deals with which reference. So stage 10 will deal with a certain reference, one of the aliases we set. Stage 20 will deal with a different alias, that kind of thing. So you want to right click, click new, and in here change that to 10 because that's the first stage of the quest. Remember, this is after we've just been told by Dolphin Pipette that thief has stolen his ring. And we just need to give this a general display text so we know what's going on. And this is, when you open a quest and it shows all the objectives you've kind of done with it, it shows, yeah, that's what this is. So you want something like, you're just giving a general short description, so it's kill the thief. Because that, at stage 10 of the quest, that is the goal, is to kill the thief. And then we want to create a new target reference, click new. And the target alias for this is the thief, because that is the alias that's related to this stage of the quest. At stage 10 of the quest, when we've got the quest, the goal is to kill the thief. So what we're doing is we're linking the objective with the alias, which is then linked to the thief. I know it sounds a bit convoluted, but when you're doing more advanced quest building, this kind of process is actually necessary. So that's that one done. If we click away, that should change. Yep, target reference thief for stage 10. Now we need to do stage 20, and in stage 20, you've killed the thief, and you need to retrieve the ring. So obviously, we're going to click new. We're going to change that to 20. We're going to change this display text to retrieve Dolphin's ring. And the target reference again. This time, instead of the thief, it's going to be the ring, because our goal is to acquire the ring. That is the alias that is associated with this stage of the quest. And I'm sure you all know it's coming, stage 30, which is to hand the ring back to Dolphin. So let's say return Dolphin's ring. Target reference, this time is going to stay Dolphin because, that's the goal of this stage of the quest, is to give the ring back to Dolphin. That's why we set up the aliases, because this is what they link to. It sets the objective to different aliases, and then those sort of go off and reference to different objects and actors and such things. Okay, 2 out of 3 stages done, guys. We are nearly there. Now we're going to set the text and sort of link this all together and do a little bit of scripting, but it's very basic stuff, I promise you. So we're going to go to quest stages. I'm going to click stage 10, and we're going to click new in this log entry bit on the right. Now the log entry is basically the text that will pop up on the right. When you open the quest up, in your quest thing in Skyrim, in your quest log, this is the text that will show up at this stage of the quest. So in this case, we say, I've been told by oh god, can't spell, to retrieve his ring. I'm doing it because I'm a good guy. You know? Question mark? I don't really, it doesn't really matter at this stage. I'm just, getting the general idea. So when we go and get the quest from Dolphin, when we get the quest from Dolphin, when we open our quest log, that is what will happen. We will be presented with this log entry, because as you remember when we first did this, we set it so that at the end of our first conversation with Dolphin, it sets the quest to stage 10, and because we're at stage 10 on this left here, we know this is what's going to happen. Now we're also going to use this code here. I'm not going to link all this code in here because it's a bit pointless, but actually, I will, because I'm lovely like that. I'm going to put all the code in the description of the video, but it's not particularly necessary this time. All it's doing is SetObjectiveDisplayed 10. So it's basically saying at this stage, set the objective, which is the objective that we set a minute ago, which is this one over here, which linked to the thief. It's basically saying get to stage 10 of the quest, put this text up in our quest log, and make this what we need to do, and that is retrieve the ring, and it's then linked to the alias. I hope this is all making sense. And as always with script, we click compile. You really shouldn't be presented with any problems there. And this might take a little bit of time, I'm afraid. Nope, we're good. So we need to do a couple more. We're going to go to stage 20. We're going to create another new log entry. So I've killed the thief. Just need to nab the ring. As you remember, first stage, kill the thief. Second stage, get the ring. Third stage, first stage, kill the thief. Second stage, get the ring. Third stage, return the ring to Dolphin. So that's all we need to do. Once we've obtained the ring, that is the quest text that will pop up in our. Once we've killed the thief, I should say. Apologies. That is the quest text that will pop up in our quest log. And we're going to change the scripting a little bit for this one. So when we hit stage 20, what will happen is the objective will be completed, objective 10 that we set over here, and the next objective will be displayed, which is 20, which is this. All it's basically doing is setting each individual objective nice and neatly up. It's kind of tying everything together with a log entry and different things like that. One more. We go to index 30, and this is one where we've retrieved the ring and we need to give it back to Dolphin. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to give the ring to Dolphin. Bro. A little bit more text. Sorry, I do apologize, there's actually one more after this. And this is simply SetObjectiveCompleted 20, SetObjectiveDisplayed 30. Again, all the script is telling us that once we hit stage 30, this log entry pops up. The objective will be completed, this one here, and the next objective will be displayed, which is this one. And as usual, click compile. Give that a couple of seconds to compile. Go on, be beautiful. I think you're good. I don't know if you're good. You're not good. Not quite yet. There we go. One more. Don't actually need to set a log entry for this one. The point of this one is to, once we get to stage 40, which as you remember, stage 40 is what happens when we've given the ring back to Dolphin, and stage 40 was triggered when it ended, when the conversation ended. That started stage 40 of the quest, which nothing happens in because that is the stage you have completed the quest. So all we're doing is set objective completed 30. We don't want to set a new objective because there's no point, because there is no more objectives. And what we also need to do is go down here and tick complete quest. Once it's done, the quest will go from our quest log. And that's it. We do need to create a log entry to this kind of thing. You don't need to fill the log entry in because, like I said, the quest is going to finish. But theoretically, at this point, the quest should be fully completable with objectives and such things all the way along. We're going to go try this out in game, make sure everything works perfectly. It should do. I don't foresee any problems with this one. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And yeah, I will see you in a second, guys, as we go and test this out. Click OK, save your mod as usual, load it up in game, and we'll give it a go. See you in a second. So we are here in the Four Shields Tavern in Dragon Bridge, and there is our wonderfully naked dolphin puppet, sort of hiding behind that pillar, as we put him in the last video. Now I'm going to say right now, I'm having some problems. There's a couple of errors which I assume are purely client side on my point. For testing purposes, I've actually had someone go through the same process, follow all 3 tutorials, and their quest worked out fine. I'm not quite sure what the problem is on my end. I'm going to look into it. If anyone knows, I will stick an annotation in this video to make sure the same thing doesn't happen for other people. But I'll show you what I mean.
Mind you don't cross Tassius.
We're going to talk to Dolphin, do all this, so we've been through this. And there we go, started Dolphin's Turmoil, which you remember is the name of the quest, and there's our little quest display text that we set in the last, well, a little bit earlier, kill the thief. So as you can see, we do have objectives to an extent. However, if I go into my quests, the text isn't there, and I'm not quite sure why.
Don't start any trouble, and I think we'll get along.
That's the first problem. The quest, the text that I set and wrote, and you know, that said I must go and kill the thief in Access Doom, blah blah blah, whatever it was I wrote, that isn't there. Now it should be there, and I'm not quite sure what the problem is. I will figure it out. I will put an annotation in this video at some point. The other problem is that upon killing the thief, the quest objective isn't recognizing that I've killed the thief. Again, I'm not actually sure why this is happening. I'm going to look into it. As far as I know, this should work for other people. As you can see, last week I had the dialogue issue with the voice thing, and that does work for 99% of people. My game hates me, let's put it that way. But we're going to head off to Nax's tomb and kill our thief. So I'm just going to COC Nax's tomb, give that another second to load, and oopsie daisy. That occasionally happens. I've not set the starting marker correctly. There we go. But I'll show you what I mean. We go down here. There's our thief. Obviously he's not hostile. Well, she's not hostile this time. Yeah. Chop her head off. And for whatever reason, the quest marker isn't updating. It should be. It really should be. And I think it will for the majority of people. However, when we take the ring, which as you can see is beautifully there, Return Dolphin's ring does pop up, which at least is a good sign. Now, I don't quite... Dragon's Bridge exterior... O1? No, COC Whiterun. I'm going to COC to Whiterun and then fast travel to Dragon's Bridge because I don't actually know the code for Dragon's Bridge. But we're going to go back, talk to Dolphin, and hopefully when we talk to him, the quest will vanish from our log. I do apologise for these little errors. I'm not sure why they're there. Everything should be working perfectly. I will spend some time figuring this out and make sure, and the annotations will go up as soon as I know. But as far as I can tell, and as far as I've seen from the people I've asked to do this for me to test this out, this should work fine. Please do let me know if that, if that's not true. If it's not working for you, let me know, and I'll put even more effort into trying to find out so we can make sure it works for everybody. Yeah. But hopefully we will at some point have a finished quest. Now there are going to be some little errors, which I will go through at some point in the future. Little tidying up things, but on the basic face of it, where the hell is Dragon? There it is. On the basic sort of front face of it, this is a fully functioning quest. Well, it should be. We are going to go talk to the naked cat and see what's going on. Naked cat, naked cat, naked cat, naked cat. I'm in all honesty, I'm quite frustrated this hasn't worked. It's been a long week, guys, and yeah, this should be working, and I have spent quite a long time trying to figure out why it's not working. Hence the delay in this video. I've gone through everything, I've looked back through it, and I just don't know why my quest in particular has decided not to work. The theory is, in general, the creation kit just hates me. I'm sure it hates some other people out there as well. But let's go talk to Dolphin. I'll show you again. If we go into the quest, see the kill the thief thing is still there. Return Dolphin's ring is there at least. But we're still not getting the text, the display text that I put up. That should be popping up, showing us what our current objective is, roughly. Unfortunately. We also need to do extra things like setting little markers, where the quest is and such things. But, these are little things we're going to add at the end. But as you can see, the quest has moved forward. Got his ring, completed Dolphin's Turmoil, press start, and the quest is no longer there. So hopefully that does work for you guys. Hopefully, you don't have the problems that I've had. It should work. Please do let me know if it doesn't, and like I said, I'll make sure I add annotations to clarify if there is any issues in the tutorial. Like I said, I don't think there is, but it may purely be ignorance on my side. I'm doing my best to make sure this works, guys. I'm sorry. Either way, thank you for joining me. I do hope this helped. I do hope you can get your quests all finished and looking amazing. I'm sure you all will. Please let me know. And thank you for all the support and stuff, and the likes, comments, subscribes. Help us massively. Stick around for more content and such things, and I shall see you guys in the next video. I don't know what we're going to do. Probably more questy type stuff. I'm going to build a player house at some point because a lot of people have been asking for that. Stick around for all that in the future. Hopefully not a month away this time. And I'll see you then, guys. Much love. Bye.